This channel supports Extra Life in its efforts to raise money for the Children's Miracle Network. For more information about how to donate and join in their efforts, go to the link displayed here. Extra Life. Play games, heal kids. What up, everybody? This is your boy Black Magus, and at the time of this recording, we're about 2 weeks away from E3. Now, I know the hype train for E3 used to be a lot bigger, but this year's kind of deflated with the news that Sony's not going to be doing a big press conference. People, I guess, feel like it's lost this whole luster as there's no big battleground between the two titans of gaming, so to speak. Thing about it, for me, I personally don't care. While I like talking and discussing the press conferences, at the end of the day, I wasn't as drawn into the whole battle part of it as other people. Sure, I can give my opinion about who I thought did the best at what, who sold their product better and things like that, from an analytical type thing. That's how I've always approached it. But from a personal level, I don't care about these people fighting and who's dominating and all that. It's basically like, I don't know. To me, it's asinine to get that drawn into this whole thing, the way people do, but they do. It's a source of joy, I guess, for people. I don't truly, I never truly got it, but hey, to each their own, I guess. That being said, there are still some things to look out for E3 now. Before I go into what's going to actually happen on E3 and then give my opinion and overview of what I expect, I will say this. The direction that E3 is going is pretty much the way things are going media-wise anyway. The internet and social media has made it a lot more beneficial for these companies to do like Sony did, to pull out, to not spend the thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars, trying to produce these grand presentations and things like that. Just like how Nintendo pulled out years ago and everybody thought they were crazy, and then these Nintendo Directs popped off. Now looking at the present, a lot of people are starting to debut things and put announcements out outside of just these big market events. I mean, again, as of today, the Tuesday, the day I'm recording this and possibly posting it, Sony will be soon preparing to put out news about The Last of Us 2, and apparently there's going to be something on Death Stranding. Rumor and speculation is that we're going to get release dates for one of them, if not both, and some footage as well. Sony has their State of Play thing. Like I said, Nintendo has their Directs. You've noticed a lot of publishers and developers, small developers even, to start putting out their own YouTube channel content, live streaming a lot of stuff there or on Twitch as well, and to share with people, making announcements there, setting up their own special events. I mean, Call of Duty is going to have its own event soon during the NBA Finals, that they're going to be debuting the trailer probably like they usually do, and then they're going to do a separate event. So E3 really is not the showcase piece that it was. If anything, they need to just go full on consumer and just become a con, because at this point there really isn't any financial reason, whether it's to benefit them or not, for these companies to keep doing these, especially with these bigger companies. I've always said, Microsoft has always surprised me that they've never continually did an annual showcase on their own with the scale of what they do at E3. Just like when Sony started doing the PlayStation Experience, that was brilliant to me. It was what I always thought Microsoft would jump to first, dedicated a weekend to their fan base and making that their centerpiece to debut different things. It's like we got some big things in the early start of PlayStation Experience. Now that the generation is powering down And it's understandable that you don't get that anymore, but I feel like it's going to reestablish itself as we're coming into this next generation. And I think Microsoft should do the same thing and, go the way that Sony and Nintendo are going, and just be like, yo, we can make our own stuff, and put it out there and not depend on this thing. I do think, though, this year Microsoft probably feels like it's critical for them to take center stage now that they don't have anybody coming with anything major. There's always ways that Sony and Nintendo and other companies could trump them within the media cycle because of the fact that they do their own independent thing. But Sony might just pop out with hey, we have a state of play that, oh, guess what? This is a, trailer for the next console and the date for when we're going to have a press event where we're going to invite the gaming media to sit and actually see the PlayStation 5 or whatever they're going to call it. Nintendo could pop out of nowhere with their direct and be like, yep, we got a newer updated version of the Switch, bam, and here's all these games, another Zelda, another Mario, here's the footage to the Pokemon game and all of this that we're gonna put out next, stuff like that. They can kind of suck the wind from Microsoft, but I honestly think that it's kind of already sucked away because they're pretty much on an island, and while I do think their press conference is gonna be great, I think they're gonna put out a lot of news about the next console, and you're gonna see a lot of stuff that you've been waiting to see. There's just so many other ways and so many cheaper, smaller scale ways that their competition can just, again, take the wind out of their sails. I stress that Sony's moves this week, 2 weeks before E3, are kind of small jabs, and whatever Nintendo is going to do over the course of the next 2 weeks and during E3 is going to be taking small jabs. So I think Microsoft, after this year, should kind of back out of these grand things, show up maybe just with a fan booth, stuff like that, have something for people to play and all that. But I don't think actually I wouldn't even do the fan booth thing. Microsoft's got enough money to do something similar to what EA is doing, so I think they're better going off that way. Do a Microsoft showcase off-site, make it free if possible. You got the pull to get venues in LA and draw people. I think it would be better, but yeah, E3 is just, its time is probably about to be up, and they need to reinvent themselves and put themselves in the position to thrive in another way, and not just be this we're gonna just be this place where all the companies come to showcase their grandest moments in gaming for the year and things like that. It's gonna have to re-envision itself, but we'll see. Now, on to the show itself. So see, and this is an example, starting off, how things have completely changed. So EA no longer does their traditional press conference. For the last couple of years, they've done the EA Play thing, where they've had an off-site location where they invite gamers to come and play, and they'll do a stream, and showcase new games, new titles, and things like that. But for the most part, it's just this off-site event that's going on kind of concurrently with E3. Now it's not concurrent with E3 at all. Again, the official start date for E3 is the 11th. That Tuesday is when the doors open to the show floor. These conferences usually precede it. EA Play is completely preceding it. From the 7th through the 9th of June, that's when you're going to get EA Play. They're going to pick Saturday as the 8th as their stream day, where they're going to do basically all day stream, where they'll be talking to developers of games, showing footage of games and things like that, and having people play it. At the same time, that's also when they're going to do their conference. So there's no set schedule as to when the presentation part of the day is going to be, but pretty much Saturday, June 8th is when you're going to get blasted with EA's main talking points. And then the other days, if you're in the area, you can come and you can attend, you can play games and whatnot and see what they got to offer. I believe the new Star Wars game is going to be there and available to play as well, so that's going to be interesting to see. Sunday is when Microsoft goes. Again, what went from the Monday battleground the day before official start, where it used to be, okay, Microsoft goes first and then Sony counters, and a long time ago Nintendo fit in somewhere, and then you had Ubisoft fitting in, as well as EA throwing in their position. That's no longer the way it is. Microsoft's going that Sunday, and they're going early Sunday at 1 p.m. Pacific time. For those of us who's on the East Coast, that's around 4. And of course, I won't spill out all the time zones. Sorry, I guess it's an American bias, and more importantly, East and West Coast bias that I'm showing. So forgive me, but just you know how to schedule your time zones accordingly. I will put a link in the description from PC Gamer, who's going to be doing their own conference as well, but we'll get to that soon. But they have a list of the schedule, the announced schedule so far for E3. After Microsoft, Bethesda is going to show up around 8:30 Eastern Time, 5:30 Pacific, and do their conference. We'll probably see some more of the new Doom game coming, Doom Eternal. Maybe you'll get something on the next Elder Scrolls game that they teased. Now that we know that these other consoles are coming, not a bad look to actually show footage, because you have the hardware that you're probably going to be intended on putting it. You have the Wolfenstein game, the one with the twin daughters of Blazkowicz coming out, so you might get to see some stuff like that, and who knows, they might have some other things to pop in. I forget the name of that horror game, but they may make a third one for that. Maybe another Dishonored, maybe another Prey. Who knows what they're gonna have? I don't expect much from the Bethesda one though. Devolver is going to do the annual "fuck you" E3. Nobody gives a shit stream, I'm sure. Although you will probably see some games too. Just expect some weird, crazy shit intertwined with a couple of game clips, but mostly just some weird, trippy shit that's gonna make you go, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" Then Monday, there's going to be an E3 VR showcase at 9 a.m. Pacific, which is noon Eastern. Didn't know about this one, so I'm finding out just when you are, people. It will be streamed on YouTube only, though, no Twitch feed, it looks like. While most of the others are either on Twitch or YouTube or Mixer. This one's just YouTube. Interesting. But they're gonna showcase a lot of VR stuff, which is weird. They say it's gonna be something similar to a Nintendo Direct, and that it's going to be revolving around Rift, Vive, PSVR, Quest, and Windows VR stuff. So, okay, interesting. Nice to see them still taking VR serious. Then at 10 a.m. Pacific, which is around 1 Eastern, you're going to get the PC Gaming Show. Look, from a technical level, a lot of it's interesting, but it's not an entertaining show. I'd rather read about it. That's just me personally. No slight to PC Gamer for putting, because I applaud them for putting this on and making this a thing. But I definitely will be paying attention. Like I said, I usually read it, but I just want to see what the new hardware is, because I'm sure that AMD generally sponsors it. You're going to get a lot of new news about what's coming out with AMD. And who knows, AMD might talk a little bit about the next gen of consoles, as they are the backbones again for those consoles. The link that I'm going to put for PC Gamer, they do have a link to all the people who's going to be in the lineup, so you can see who's going to talk during that. 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. You're going to get Ubisoft's press conference, one of the last of the big names that are still doing that day before official start press conference. Curious to see where they're at with Good and Evil 2. You will probably get the next Assassin's Creed. They're going to show some more of the new Tom Clancy game, I'm pretty sure. And then who knows what else they're going to have. They tend to pop in with about 2 or 3 games that you don't know about. Also, I want to see where Skull and Bones is, since it seems to be in a weird state production-wise. So I'm curious to see if they're going to address that. 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, which generally speaking has always been the Sony slot. It's being taken by Square Enix. I don't know what Square Enix has other than the Final Fantasy remake right now to really push out there. I mean, they have the expansion for Final Fantasy 14 coming. Beyond that, oh well, the Marvel game, they are supposed to be doing an Avengers game, and we've not seen hide nor hair of that. And I'm curious to know where's that at. Maybe that's what we'll see. That'll be the big thing for that. But yeah, it's kind of a, hate to say this because I do like some Square games, but kind of a deflating ending to that Monday when you think about it. Like, again, I'm fine and comfortable with the format for E3 changing and the importance of E3 diminishing, but it definitely is kind of weird to see this, being used to all the big company hype as far as the console manufacturers concerned, devolve into this Square is the capper, especially when you think back to Square's previous live streams. They haven't been that well received, so we'll see. Maybe now that they have a bigger platform as far as time slot and all that, they'll put on a better show for people. And then of course on the day at the start of E3, which I always like that they did this, Nintendo will do the Nintendo Direct at 9 Pacific, 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. I'll be at work and I'm gonna miss it. So, but they're going to probably talk about some Switch stuff. I believe there's the rumor that Persona 5 is going to end up on the Switch, so that'll be cool. Not sure what Nintendo has to talk about this year, at least that we don't know about. I mean, I'm sure they're going to show some stuff that we haven't seen, or games that they haven't introduced, but yeah, and that's it. And we just dive into E3. Now, another interesting thing about E3 is that a lot of the media sites aren't doing the on-floor booth type thing. They're just staying home, or they're just doing off-site studio stuff, like Giant Bomb always did, their small little thing at night where they talk to developers after all the floor stuff went and after they saw everything. I believe GameSpot and IGN aren't doing the on-floor live show anymore, so I'm curious to know what they're going to be doing. But yeah, for the most part, the heavy saturation of coverage for E3, it's gonna change. It's gonna change quite a bit. So I'm curious to see how this is gonna flow. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Again, because of the adjustment, I'm not taking off, which is fine. I used to take off for the most part for E3 just so I can sit at home and go live and talk with their stuff, and it was fun interacting with you guys. But I'm also kind of cool with just laying back, catching it throughout the day, maybe coming home, watching it, and then just do an overview at night. I mean, the Microsoft thing's on Sunday, so that'll be something. I may do a live stream. I haven't been live streaming a lot lately, but I think E3 will probably get me to do that. Maybe I'll hit up my boys and see what they want to do. If they want to sit back and talk about it. But yeah, as far as predictions go now with E3, Microsoft, of course, is going to show their new console. They're going to show some games from their new studio. I don't have much in the way of predictions because I don't know what Microsoft could do at this point to surprise people beyond showing a bunch of third-party things. I think that's why it's also a good like year for Sony to pull out, because it's like this is a year before going into the headlong promotion of your next console. I get why Microsoft maintains, because Microsoft feels like they gotta play catch up. Even though I still maintain that this is probably like them heading towards the not manufactured consoles. I still keep that same energy towards that, because all the deals that they made and the partnerships that they're making with their rivals and things like that just points to me that like you ain't gonna get another physical Xbox. It's gonna have the Xbox brand tattooed everywhere and thriving. But yeah, I don't really. This is a weird E3. I just realized it's like the grand prediction thing is kind of left, because they don't really need to do anything to top anybody. Like, I feel like my predictions are going to be super safe. For Microsoft, super safe prediction. You will see Gears 5 footage. You will finally see Halo footage, and it will be on the new console. It won't be on the Xbox One. It's going to be on whatever they call the next Xbox. I guess this is the non-safe prediction, maybe, even though I feel like it's super safe too. You will get the name of the Xbox console from Microsoft. And okay, here's a bold sort of prediction, even though again I don't feel like it's that bold, because I feel like a lot of what Microsoft's going to be doing is trying to establish themselves and putting themselves like ahead of the curve, like jump out in front of the competition as much as possible. You'll get a release date for the new Xbox console. How about that? So that's all I got for that. As far as the rest, Nintendo, I've pretty much already said it. Another Mario, some Pokemon stuff, possibly. I will say the Switch thing is another prediction. That's probably not going to come out, but they probably come out with a new version of the Switch. And bold prediction, another Zelda announcement. Like I said, so that's about it. Ubisoft, again, safe. Assassin's Creed will get announced. Not for this year, but for next year. They already said they're not going to make one this year, but I feel like they're still going to like talk about it. You'll get a release date for Beyond Good and Evil 2. And let's see, what else could I say for you? Oh, you'll finally get your Splinter Cell. Bam. Alright, that takes care of them. Square will possibly announce a new Final Fantasy game. How about that? Not only that, but they will finally show footage of the Avengers project, and you'll get a release date for Final Fantasy VII Remake. Cool. Bethesda, I'm going with Skyrim footage for the next generation. It'll be PC footage, but it'll be touted for the next generation. I feel like they also will wrap around to that by having something at Microsoft to qualify that. They will also show up at Microsoft probably with Doom Eternal as well, so you'll get a double dose of Doom Eternal for them, and you'll get some Doom Eternal gameplay. And I think they will announce enough. Is it The Evil Within? I think is the name of the game. They'll announce another one of those. And next Fallout will be announced, and that's it for them. EA, don't expect much from them. You're gonna get lots of Madden, lots of FIFA. You will get the gameplay for the new Star Wars game. But I think EA is pretty much set. What would be a bold prediction? they'll try to bring back the Medal of Honor series. That's my boldest prediction for EA. Somehow I feel like they need another shooter in the rotation, and you'll get that. And if not that, then you will actually get an announcement that yes, Respawn is working on the third iteration of Titanfall, unlike what they said before. So that's about all I got for you for them. And just to throw Sony out there, Sony's going to put something out during the week of E3. I really feel like they're going to like try to like wait until that Thursday, that last day, and be like, oh, here's a brand new trailer for, I don't know, what could they possibly drop that would like move the needle really, really hard in their direction. Because you're going to get the Last of Us thing and Death Stranding this week. They'll probably find some way to do a state of play and show some Ghost of Tsushima. I think that would be something. You'll get a state of play and you'll see some Ghost of Tsushima. But what would be a really big like drop for them? Really not sure. Yeah, I really can't say much about Sony, but I just the most I can say is I feel like they're just going to drop something. Possibly making the announcement for that PlayStation experience is coming back this fall, so they can set up their PlayStation 5 announcement there. I don't know. So, but I feel like Sony's just sitting there, like folding their hands, like, okay, we're not gonna be there, but we're going to make sure that everybody remembers us. I feel like it's gonna be on that last day, that Thursday. Everybody's like, okay, you know, the malaise of E3. It's like, okay, we got to see all this great stuff. Wow, that was cool what Microsoft and Nintendo did. Yeah, I'm like, oh, what the fuck? Yo, Sony, what are you doing? And try to like capture the attention that way. Cheap tactic, but I feel like they do it just to like get the like reaction going. I don't know. Yeah, this E3 is just not really that energetic, which is fine. Again, I get more out of these small like announcements that have been happening. Like pick your spots, pick your timing, and put stuff out. Like right now, you have currently about 10,000, 11,000 people on PlayStation's Twitch account right now. Not lying. Looking at dead screens of bullshit. Just a black screen with handprints showing and like glimpses of footage in the background of Death Stranding and Kojima just trolling the fuck out of people. I mean, the way that people get hyped over little shit like that, you really don't need E3 to generate buzz anymore, and I feel like that's just how Sony's gonna just play it. And I think everybody else would be beneficial to do that and just let E3 be a trade show. Because I mean, shit, look at how PAX went. You know, PAX wasn't as impactful as it used to be too. It was entertaining. People loved it, enjoyed it for what it was, but we weren't sitting here looking at that as the news cycle as we used to. Same thing with Gamescom. You know, it's not the news cycle event that it used to be as well. Yeah, that's just how it is going to be from now on. Like, the companies are going to generate their own news cycle whenever they can, and I'm fine with that. Because it gives you like that surprise moment, a better surprise moment, and not everybody just sitting waiting for a tentpole event. It was nice while it lasted, but you know, things change and it moves on. Anyway, as always, you guys feel free to hit me up. Let me know what you think, and I'll haunt you later. This your boy Blak Makers, and I'm out, y'all. Deuces.